Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. You know, if you're just starting out on your financial journey, chances are you've been looking into building some passive income. But let's be real for a second. Almost every tutorial out there just assumes you've already got 10 grand sitting around to invest. Well, today we're completely flipping the script. We are pulling from a really fascinating breakdown of the digital economy to give you a true, actionable beginner's roadmap to supplemental income starting from absolute scratch.
Right, so the ultimate dream, as our source material perfectly captures, is earning money without the daily grind. It's an incredibly alluring concept, isn't it? But let's ground this right away in reality. You probably don't have massive amounts of capital just waiting to be thrown into a high-yield investment. You're starting with limited funds, maybe even zero funds, but a whole lot of ambition. So how do we actually bridge the gap between that reality and this dream?
Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to group these ideas by their barrier to entry, tackling them in 4 steps. First, low-risk digital hustles. Second, monetizing knowledge and creativity. Third, investing for steady returns. And finally, building your financial future.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, low-risk digital hustles. This is where you're starting with literally just your time and a laptop. You know, the absolute beauty of the modern digital landscape is that there are actual avenues accessible to you right this very second without needing to take out a massive business loan. And this brilliantly illustrates the print-on-demand model. Sites like Teespring let you jump straight into designing custom products. We're talking t-shirts, mugs, the whole shebang. But here is the absolute genius part. The product only gets produced and shipped after a customer places an order. You aren't buying hundreds of shirts and stuffing them in your garage hoping they sell. For a beginner, this is pure magic, because zero inventory literally means zero financial risk.
Now, maybe designing products just isn't your forte. That's totally fine. Let's compare print-on-demand with another zero-capital avenue, affiliate marketing. There's a really clear distinction here in where you put your effort. With print-on-demand, you're the one doing the creative work. But with affiliate marketing, you're simply earning a commission by promoting other people's products. You basically act as the digital referral, which makes it a highly accessible route if you lean more toward marketing rather than creating.
So how do you actually make those referrals happen? Well, you leverage what you already have. Think about the hours we all spend online every day. You can actually turn your existing websites, blogs, or even just your social media profiles into real revenue streams. Every single time a sale is made through your unique referral link, you earn a piece of the pie. It's just a fantastic way to monetize the digital footprint you're already building anyway.
Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds. Section 2, monetizing knowledge and creativity, which is all about leveraging your existing skills. Once you've kind of dipped your toes into digital hustles, this second tier is where your personal creativity meets passive income. Think of this as your practical cheat sheet. The digital age has completely democratized education and publishing. Like, if you know how to code, or maybe you play the guitar, platforms like Udemy and Coursera let you package that knowledge into an online course. If you love to write, Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing lets you bypass those traditional gatekeepers entirely to publish ebooks. Or hey, if you just have a great eye, you can sell your smartphone photography on Shutterstock or Adobe Stock to a global market. So the absolutely crucial points here, the big mindset shift for a beginner, is understanding royalties. This means earning money for years after your initial effort. Unlike a standard hourly wage where you're just trading your time for money, this tier is all about doing the heavy lifting exactly once. You write the ebook, you record the course, you snap the photo, and then you let those digital assets act like tiny little employees, repeatedly generating income for you whenever someone makes a purchase.
Moving right along to Section 3, investing for steady returns. This is where we talk about making your money work for you.
Now, as you successfully navigate those first 2 tiers, you're naturally going to start accumulating some capital. So, you might be wondering, what happens when your digital hustles start generating a surplus? Or what if you actually already have a little cash set aside right now? Well, this is where your mindset has to fundamentally shift from simply earning to investing. You're no longer just deploying your time, you're deploying your capital. Now, what's really interesting about this is how modernized these traditional heavy investments have become. Just look at real estate. With massive urbanization happening in booming cities like Dhaka and Chittagong, property rentals offer some really promising returns. And of course, Airbnb has completely revolutionized short-term leasing globally.
In agribusiness, you can actually tap into the huge demand for organic, local foods through farmlands, aquaculture, or contract farming. Then there's peer-to-peer or P2P lending through platforms like Funding Circle. This basically lets you act like a bank, lending your money directly to businesses to earn interest. And finally, art and alternative investments. Get this, you don't need millions of dollars to buy a Picasso anymore. Platforms today allow for fractional ownership, letting you buy shares of masterpieces, rare coins, or memorabilia, exactly like you'd buy a stock.
And that brings us to our final stop, Section 4, building your financial future and taking that crucial first step today.
So, we've charted the entire path, from zero capital side hustles all the way up to fractional art ownership. But before you leap in, we need a quick reality check. The source material wisely points out, while each comes with its own set of risks, the potential for supplemental income is undeniable. I want to be super clear here for anyone just starting out. Passive definitely does not mean effortless, especially at the very beginning. It requires real initial diligence. Earning this supplementary income is absolutely within your reach, but no single avenue is entirely immune to market forces.
And because of those risks, your absolute most crucial takeaway from this explainer is this: your diligence and your research are literally your strongest initial investments. Seriously, before you spend a single dollar, or even dedicate your upcoming weekends to creating a course or setting up a storefront, you've got to do your homework. Finding the exact right avenue, the one that fits your unique skills and protects your hard-earned capital, requires careful, focused research.
The landscape of work and finance is evolving so rapidly right now, and the opportunities to step out of that daily grind are sitting right in front of you. So what's it going to be? Which of these digital avenues will you start exploring today to build your new financial future? Will you dive into affiliate marketing? Maybe try your hand at self-publishing, or perhaps start mapping out a future real estate investment. The beginner's roadmap is laid out right here. Now, it's just time to take that first step.